Hi guys, welcome to the Criminology podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Liz.
And today we're covering white-collar crime. White-collar crimes are committed by employees for their own personal gain, often against the organisation they work for. For example, stealing from the company, fiddling expenses and fraudulent behaviours. Edwin Sutherland defined it as crimes committed by middle-class people as they do their daily work. For example, Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes.
The likely victims to white-collar crime are the business and companies themselves. Theft by the employees is a major source of crime in the UK, and it can be very damaging, costing companies and organisations thousands of pounds.
Perpetrators of white-collar crime are more often than not middle-class citizens, as they often see it as a perk of the job. Ditton, a private investigation firm, investigated a bread company and found that its employees saw minor theft as perks of the job. For example, they would take loaves of bread or deliberately damage a cake so it wasn't sellable.
Public awareness about white-collar crime is very little, as it damages a company's reputation, and this is one of the reasons why it doesn't go reported, as it's fear of bad publicity, may not be able to find the perpetrators themselves. The company may think that the crime is too minor to worry about anyway, or they may not be aware that the crime is actually being committed in their own business.
A real-life example of white-collar crime is the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme. In 2009, Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison for 11 counts of fraud, money laundering, perjury and theft. Bernie Madoff, along with 5 employees and Madoff's lawyer, were all involved in a scamming scheme which was called the Ponzi scheme. This was named after Charlie Ponzi, who lured investors in by guaranteeing unusually high returns. The Ponzi scheme uses money from new investors to pay off promised returns to the older investors. This makes the operation seem profitable and legitimate, even though no profit is actually being made. The Ponzi scheme is not sustainable as the setup will fall apart. This can be due to 1. The operator takes the money and runs. 2. New investors are harder to find and the flow of money gets smaller. Or 3. Too many clients pull out and demand returns. In the Bernie Madoff case, a client requested $7 billion. However, Madoff could only pay $200 to $300 million. According to documents, Madoff's scam had run for over 50 years. It had begun back in the 1960s. The Madoff Victim Fund was created in 2013 to help those who Madoff defrauded. In 2017, an update from the Madoff Victim Fund wrote that they had paid over 27,300 victims a recovery of 56% of their losses, with thousands more set to recover the same amount in the future. By December 2018, $2.7 billion was distributed to 37,011 of Madoff's victims.
Ben, why did you think it took them 4 years to create a victim scheme for all those affected by the Madoff sacks?
It took so long to identify the victims of Madoff's scheme because he'd not kept many records on it, and it's hard to identify who he paid money off because eventually he just got addicted to it and he was handing out money like nobody's business. Do you think white-collar crime is seen as a proper crime?
In the eyes of society, I don't think it is, because they don't see it a lot. With homicides and abductions, things like that, they see it as a real crime because they know about it and we're exposed to it a lot. But with white-collar crime, it's a very secret one. So I don't think, in society's eyes, it won't be seen as a proper crime, but to the law enforcement, it will be.
Mm-hmm. Do you think everybody's therefore capable of committing it without even realising? Just by stealing bread or by taking a pack of paper from work or something?
Yeah, I think anyone, if given the right opportunity and means, will be able to commit a white-collar crime. It just depends on if they get caught or if they find the urge to repeat the same crime.
I've been Ben.
I've been Liz, and you've been listening to the Criminology podcast.